Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech, and in this video, I'll be showing you the most important tips and tricks for your Samsung Galaxy A70s. By the way guys, I'll also be making a dedicated video for the best features where I'll be showing you all the features offered by this phone, so definitely check out that video, link will be in the description. Now with that said, first I want to start off with the Sidekick feature. Now this phone has just 3 buttons, the volume up and down and the power button, but you can also use this power button for Bixby. By default, you can long press it to enable Bixby and you can directly ask a question and it will give you an answer. And in case if you're wondering, to access the power options, you need to go to the notification area and click this button for the power menu. Now, if you don't like this setup and you want the regular power button, this is what you can do. First go to settings, then select advanced features, then select side key, and then select power off menu in the second option. Once you do that, you can press and hold the power button for power options. Now over here we also have a nice little shortcut to open the camera application by double pressing the power button. Just make sure the first option is selected. Now we can just press the power button twice to open the camera application quickly. So that's a pretty neat little shortcut. Next I'm going to show you how to disable this dynamic lock screen wallpaper. So every time you go to the lock screen, you see a different wallpaper. Some people like this feature, some people don't. If you're like me, you want to disable it, this is what you can do. Go to settings, then select lock screen. Now select lock screen stories. Now just disable it. Once you do that, you get a fixed lock screen wallpaper. Right now it's being called as lock screen stories, and with a future update it might be called as dynamic wallpapers. So if you can't find lock screen stories, look for that. Now I'm going to show you how to enable dark mode on this phone. For that, go to settings, then select display settings. Over here we have night mode. Google calls it dark mode. It's like a dark theme. And once you enable it, all the UI elements change to dark mode. Now the phone will look much cooler, it'll help you save some battery as well. And if you're like me who uses your phone late at night, this dark mode will put less strain on your eyes. Now this is the notification area, these are the toggles, and this is the phone dialer. So as you can see, even some of the stock applications have changed their theme. So that's night mode or dark mode on Samsung phones. And once you click on it, you get an extra option to schedule it. Now you can automatically turn on and turn off night mode at a specific time or at sunset and sunrise. So it's a pretty cool feature. And you can also enable and disable night mode from the toggles. We have a dedicated toggle for that over here. Now I'm going to show you how to take a screenshot on your phone. For that, press the volume down and power button both at the same time and you'll get this animation, and now you got a screenshot. Besides that, you can also do a palm swipe gesture to take a screenshot. Now this feature is enabled by default, but for some reason if the gesture doesn't work, this is what you need to do. Go to settings, then select advanced features. Now select motions and gestures and make sure this particular toggle is enabled. If it is enabled, you can swipe to take a screenshot. Now I'm going to show you how to take a long screenshot on this phone. For that, first we need to take a regular screenshot. We can either use the buttons or the gesture. And once you take a screenshot, you get this small preview over here. Now you need to click this button. Once you do that, your page will scroll a bit. You need to click this button on and on. And once you're done, you can just leave it and you get a long screenshot. And here's the preview. Now for some reason, if you don't get this menu right there, this is what you need to do. Just go to settings. Once again, go to advanced features. Now make sure smart capture is enabled. If it is enabled, every time you take a screenshot, you get this extra options at the bottom. Now I'm going to show you how to record the screen on this phone. For that, we have a toggle. Just go to the toggles and over here we have screen recorder. Once you click on it and give it all the required permissions, screen recording will start. And once you're done recording, you can click this button over here to stop it. If you want to tweak settings related to screen recording, this is what you can do. Go to settings, then select advanced features. Now select screenshot and screen recorder. From here you can change the screen recorder settings, you can change the resolution. You can also choose to capture the sound or the microphone sound. Next, this phone has an awesome feature called Samsung Pay, which allows you to add your debit card or credit card information to Samsung Pay, that's an application from Samsung, and make payments just by using your phone. Here's a quick preview. So you just need to open Samsung Pay application, select the card that you want to pay with, and here's the tutorial. Just touch your phone to the swiping machine to finish the transaction. It's a very cool feature and it's like a flagship feature found only on the flagships of Samsung. So if you have this phone, definitely try the Samsung Pay feature. It's just awesome. Now I'm going to show you how to make apps go full screen. By default, all the applications open in the full screen mode, but still there are applications like this Chameleon Run which open up in a windowed mode. Or you can also say it doesn't open in a full screen mode. You can still see two black bars on either side. So to fix that, you need to go to Settings, then select Display Settings, select Fullscreen Apps. Now select the application that you want to make full screen. That's Chameleon Run. Now select full screen. Once you do that, that application will open up in a full screen mode from now on. And here's a quick preview. Now the app is in full screen. Now this phone has a dot notch. If you want to hide it, this is what you can do. Once again, go to Settings, then select Display Settings, then select Fullscreen Apps. Now click this button over here, then select Advanced Features. Now enable this toggle. Once you do that, navigation bar goes down a bit, and there are two black bars on either side of the notch. And now the notch doesn't stick out too much. It's as if there is no notch to this phone. So if you hate the notch, you can try this. Next, this phone also has always on display. So whenever you lock your phone, you can see the always on display. It displays you the time, date, battery percentage, and it also shows you important notification information. To enable always on display, this is what you can do. Go to Settings, then select Lock Screen. Now select always on display. Now this feature is enabled by default, but it only shows up when you touch the screen. If you want to make it always on, you need to select this option and make it show always. Once you do that, we can see the always on display all the time. Now this is the always on display, but this over here, the format, is called as the clock face. We can also change it from the lock screen settings. Once again, go back to lock screen settings, then select clock style. Now select always on display. Now these are all the different clock styles that we have, and you can also change the color for them. You can add a picture, make it colorful, make it more interesting. So this is our new always on display. Next, we also have something called face widgets. Just enable it for always on display as well. These are all the different face widgets. Now on the lock screen, when the display is completely off, I can double tap on the always on display. Now click on these arrows to change the different widgets. So now I can check calendar events, change music controls, and do some more crazy stuff without turning on the phone. It's a pretty cool feature. Do give it a try. Now I'm going to show you some camera related stuff. So this is a default camera application. And over here we have a toggle to switch between the primary camera and the wide angle camera. Instead of using this toggle, we can also use the pinch to zoom gesture to switch between the primary camera and the wide angle camera. And that's the preview. Now these are all the different modes this phone has, and you can also switch between them by swiping left or right. So if you want to go left, swipe to the right side, and if you want to go to right, swipe to the left side. Next we have another gesture where you can do a swipe down gesture or a swipe up gesture to switch between the front camera and the rear camera. It's a really handy shortcut, and you can also use this button if you want the old school way. Now this phone has some pretty interesting modes. On the left side we have the live focus mode, which is portrait mode for the rear camera, and on this phone we can change the amount of background blur effect you want before taking a portrait shot. And even after taking a portrait shot, we can change the amount of background blur effect. Now this is the live focus mode for front camera, that's portrait selfie, and once again we can also change the amount of background blur effect we want using the slider. And guys, remember, every time you take a portrait shot, make sure you get this notification that's effect ready to actually get a portrait shot. If you don't see the status indicator and still take a picture, you'll get a regular picture, not a portrait shot. Now if we go to the right side, we have something interesting. This is the video recording mode. We can record with the primary camera or even with the wide angle camera. This phone also offers super steady mode. You can enable it using this toggle over here, and once you enable it, you get super steady footage. Do give it a try. Next we have super slow motion, which is much slower than the regular slow motion. Now this button over here is the shutter button, and you can click it to take pictures. On Samsung phones, you can also pull it up to bring up a floating shutter button. Now you can place this button anywhere you want and then click it to take a picture. Now this button or this floating button feature is really useful for taking selfies. Now once you're done using this button, you can bring it back down to hide it. Now besides that, we also have some cool shooting methods. To enable them, go to settings and then select shooting methods. First we have voice control. Just enable that, and now you can say keywords like cheese, shoot, capture to take a picture. Next we also have the palm gesture. Once again, you can enable it from settings, shooting methods. Just enable this toggle, and now we can take a selfie with the palm gesture. Here's a quick preview. Now I'm going to show my palm, and you can see the timer over here, and then it takes a picture. Here's a preview again. There goes the timer, and it takes a selfie. So that's a pretty cool way to take a selfie. Besides that, we can always press the volume buttons, volume down and volume up to take a picture. So guys, these are all the different camera shortcuts. Now I'm going to show you how to use split screen mode on this phone. Now if you want to open Google Play Store in split screen mode, this is what you need to do. Go to the recent apps page, then click on the app icon, then select open in split screen view. Once you do that, it opens Play Store in the top window and you can select the secondary application from the recent apps, or else you can go to the home screen and then select the secondary application from the app drawer or from your home screen. For now, I'm just going to go with gallery application. Now I can resize these applications as well, and if I want to switch any of these applications, I can just press the recent apps button and once again select the application from recent apps or go to the home screen and do that. Now split screen mode has been on Android for a very long time, but there are applications that still do not support this feature. So to fix that, you need to go to settings, scroll to the bottom, select about phone, click software information, now click on build number 7 times. Now enter your password, now go back to settings. Now at the bottom we have developer options, now select that and scroll all the way to the bottom. Enable force activities to be resizable and then restart the phone. Once you do that, you will be able to use all applications in split screen mode. Next, this phone also has a feature called pop-up view, which allows you to use applications in a floating window. For example, if I want to open Play Store in a floating window, this is what I need to do. First go to the recent apps page, click on the app icon, then select open in pop-up view. Once I do that, Play Store will open up in a floating window. Now over here we have some quick options. First one is to change the transparency. Now I can make the app more transparent to a floating chat head like a shortcut. Now I can click it to maximize it into a pop-up view. Now the third option is to make the app go full screen, and the final option is to close that application. So guys, that was the pop-up view. Now this phone has a new feature called Smart Pop-up. You can enable it from settings, advanced features and Smart Pop-up view. Let's say I've enabled it for YouTube. Then the next time I get a notification from YouTube, I see a floating chatted kind of a thing from YouTube on my screen, and when I click it, it opens YouTube in a floating window. It's a cool feature, you might want to give it a try. Now I'm going to show you how to record calls automatically on this phone. For that, open the phone dialer, then click this button over here, select settings, now select recording calls and enable this toggle. Once you do that, all the calls will be recorded automatically on this phone. Now this feature is available in India but might not be available in other countries. So if you can't find this feature, try using a third-party application. Next, I'm going to show you how to change your default apps, whether you want to change your default browser, default phone dialer or default launcher. For that, go to settings, then select apps. Now click on this button, select default apps. Now from this page, we can change your default browser, default phone dialer application, SMS application and even your home launcher. That's home screen on Samsung phones. Now I would definitely recommend you to change your default browser to Google Chrome, and the rest is up to your preference. Next, if you want to display the battery percentage on the status bar, this is what you need to do. Go to settings, then select notifications, click status bar and enable this toggle. Once you do that, you can see the battery percentage on the status bar. Now I'm going to show you some important home screen related shortcuts. On your default home screen, you can do a swipe up or a swipe down gesture to open the app drawer. Now I'm going to show you some important home screen shortcuts. On your home screen, you can do a swipe up or a swipe down gesture to open the app drawer. Now if you go to settings and tweak something, just do a pin gesture, then select home screen settings. And once you enable this toggle, swipe down for notification panel. You can do a swipe down gesture to pull down the notification bar. As usual, you can do a swipe up gesture to go to the app drawer. So making that little change will make your phone much more convenient to use. Next, if you swipe down using a single finger from the top of the screen, you go to the notification area. But if you do the same with 2 fingers, it directly takes you to the notification toggles. Now these are all your notification toggles. You can also rearrange them by clicking this button, then select button order. Now long press on any of these toggles and move them to the desired location and drop them, click done, and the new layout is fixed. Next we have quick settings. Now whenever you click on the name of the toggle, we get some extra options. For sound, we can change sound profiles. We can also increase or decrease the volume of different categories. For Wi-Fi, we can change the Wi-Fi network without going to settings. And for torch, we get something interesting. Now this is a regular toggle. I can just turn off and turn on the torch. But if I click over here, I get to change the intensity of the torch. Now here's a quick preview. Now this is the brightness slider, and by default it's only available on this page. If you go back to the notification area, it's not available. But if you click this button and enable the second toggle, you can access the brightness slider even in the notification page. This is something I would definitely recommend you to do. Now for the final tip, if you're ever running low on battery, let's say you have just 5 or 10% of battery left and you don't want your phone to switch off, this is what you can do. Go to the toggle, select or click on the power mode, and we have something called maximum power saving. Once you enable this mode, screen brightness goes down, all the applications running in the background will be killed, and you will be given access to only 8 applications. 4 are fixed and you can add 4 more from the app drawer. Now even in this mode we can still use mobile data and Wi-Fi. Now as you can see, phone currently has 96% of battery left and standby time is 7 days 18 hours. So it can drastically improve your battery life. Normally it won't last that long. So if you're ever running low on battery, give this mode a try. Now to turn it off, click this button over here, select turn off maximum power saving mode, and that's it. So guys, these are the most important tips and tricks for your Samsung Galaxy A70s. If I missed out on anything important, do let me know by commenting below this video, and if you're planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description. It always helps the channel. If you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.